I had so much fun. I know I'm going to sleep really good tonight. But everything I felt today was just contagious. And to be honest, it wasn't different from a normal day with how my teammates showed up for me and respected me and found a way to win. I just feel really excited and proud that I get to physically contribute tonight. I had a lot of fun.
Could you hear the fans chanting every time you say?
A couple times. I was a little bit dialed, but I heard them going through the lineup. I kind of did a double take, and but I felt the energy. I don't know that I could articulate, I think, the moments, but I could feel the love, that's for sure, and I felt it long before tonight, but tonight was definitely special.
How much fun was it for you, Blayre?
It was awesome. I think someone like CJ deserves more than anything a chance in the net, and for us to be able to see every day how much work she puts in, but how good of a teammate she is. I think that's the number one thing with our team. We want people who are good teammates, and she shows up every day, and she's the best teammate we have. So for her to get rewarded, for her to stand on her head and keep us in the game at times, it was special for all of us, and I don't think we could be any more proud of her.
Were there any nerves going into the shootout?
The shootout, at that point, no. I think I was deep. Today, for sure. For sure, I think that's normal, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst part is like waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
But then once I got here and it was around everybody, I think it made me feel like home. But the shootout's a funny thing because the last 2 seasons I've spent a lot of time staying on the ice after practice and taking a lot of breakaways, a heck of a lot. And once we knew we were going to a shootout, it just, again, kind of felt like home, and it was a really fun challenge.
How late in the season it is at this point again, you guys have already secured your playoff spot, but in terms of seeding, was that something that was in your minds going into this game tonight?
Yeah, we talked about trying to secure home ice tonight. That was our goal at the start of the game. I think heading into playoffs with only 1 game left, that's our goal, is to play playoff hockey and make sure that we get home ice.
And how important was it to be able to get a win, snap the 2-game skid, especially this late in the season heading into playoffs?
I think it was really important. I think our last 2 games in Minnesota and then our last game against Boston were games that we weren't too happy with as a team, so I think it was really important for us to rebound and not only get the win, but just put a better hockey game together, and I think we did that tonight.
Kind of on that same note, sorry, how do you kind of stabilize, the schedule's been up and down, a little bit of travel back, a couple games, and then it's going to ramp right up. How do you sort of stabilize the group and the field? You can answer that in the dressing room.
I think the key for us is to focus on executing our game plan. So our game plan, every night it's pretty simple. There's a few details that we try to focus on, and I think throughout a long season it's really important to stay focused on what those details are. I think it's easy to kind of mentally fall to different places when there's a lot on the line or when you're tired or you're traveling a lot. The lines change. Your brain can go to different places, but I think for all of us to focus on achieving the same goals and executing the same game plan, that's what makes the game simple for us, and that's what helps us win.
Any comments on that as well?
Yeah, honestly, I think Blayre said it perfectly. Just playing to our game and sticking together as a group, even through the highs and lows, and I think kind of just keeping that neutral mindset of focusing on us and our controllables.
CJ, how do you fulfill that role? You're in a very difficult role because, you've got to be there every day and you always show up with a smile on your face and you're always positive, but then you don't get to play as much. And then, how do you sort of navigate that?
I love what I do. I am full of gratitude. I'm lucky to be here, and I'm kind of a person who's the right place, right time, and I work very hard, and I know that I've earned this, and that's a place of gratitude. Whether I'm a third, a backup, a starter, it's something that I love to do. I love being a hockey player, and I love the people that I get to do it with. So I often think of that every morning and every day, and I think it puts me in a really good space to enjoy everything that comes my way.
How long have you been thinking about getting Carly there?
2 years. Yeah.
Was it close last year? Was it your time? So it was just
Yeah, I think it was. I think probably would have, a lot of it's like our start, and then we're chasing sort of our season both years. But yeah, it was pretty cool, and part of today's decision was for CJ, and part of it was talking to the coaches and staff and Gina and some of our leaders. Like it's almost like I thought our team needed it, needed just the. I know how much CJ means to our group. You knew we would try to at least rally, or it would change a bit of the energy right now that's in our room. It can be a grind late in the season, right? And then, you clinch playoffs, and you're trying to say you're fighting for first and all those things, but it's like sometimes that little extra motivation that a personality like CJ brings out in your group is really important. So I would say a lot of them would look at that as one of the most important wins of the year, simply because it was CJ.
Otherwise, it seemed like it didn't have a lot of flow, like a lot of broken plays and stretches without whistles. Like, what was your point of view generally?
Yeah, I mean, I liked our first 10 minutes. I didn't like the sort of middle part of the game at all. I liked our third. I thought we got back a hold of the game and had some sustained pressure. I thought we got rid of their sustained pressure. And, we got hemmed in a few times. So we always do a better job when we're mixing up sort of ozone play with our entries. When we're playing bad, it looks like entry. We're playing from top of the circles to top of the circles. When we play well, we get pucks in behind them and play down low. And I thought, for the first 10 we did that. And it's not about dumping pucks and chasing them. It's driving pucks down into that middle layer and possessing it and using your skill. And I thought we did it in the third, and I thought we did it in the first 10. And it usually it correlates with drawing penalties as well. When you play the right way and you force people to overextend themselves, and they tend to take penalties against you. So if we're playing well, we're drawing penalties. If we're playing poorly, we're not drawing anything.
You spoke about the mood in the room and whatnot before. How important was this win in terms of being able to gain some momentum back heading into the playoffs, and also for the sake of the standings and where you guys are at?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think, our game before the international period in Minnesota was not great. I thought our game in Boston was not great. So you gotta find some positives heading into playoffs. It can, your mind can easily go from regular season to playoffs, and you can get ahead of yourself a little bit. But so there's got to be some excitement in the room heading into playoffs, and I thought that's what today's game probably did. I mean, obviously we would have liked to win it in regulation, but there's a better story there when it gets to the shootout for the whole side game of CJ playing. It just added to some excitement. Akeem saw what went on in the dressing room afterwards. They were very similar to how you would see after a championship game, and it had nothing to do with the win. It was a celebration for CJ and everything she's brought to this team.
You started the shootout with Spooner. Is that because Spooner's has been one of your better shooters over the course of 2 seasons, or is it because you wanted to get her going and give her some confidence?
Yeah, all of the above. Spooner's someone who the pressure of that situation is not even going to phase her. It's not even going to she won't even recognize that. She's just used to big moments and big games. She has such reach. As she's trying to get her game back and get back on track, the joy of a shootout, it's just her and her goalie, and I'll take my chances with Spooner anytime in those situations, whether she's 100% or not. So, and then actually my assistant coach Midgley kind of looked at me right after Spooner went and was like, go back with her now. And I was like, hold off. Let's see if someone else got something. And but I actually looked at Spooner, and Spooner had those the big eyes looking like she wanted to go again, and you don't often get that on a bench. So I like the confidence. And then kind of a side note, it's kind of funny. So Kluge didn't get a ton of ice time. She got a few shifts tonight, and she was kind of sharing a little bit of pre-scout information on how to potentially be successful in a shootout against Osborne. So I love that. Someone who wasn't playing a ton still had something to offer late in the game. So she shared a little bit of information that our goalie coach shared in a pre-scout, and so she was coaching Spooner more than I was coaching her in that situation, which was great.
No on the shootout. The CJ chance where it feels like any chance she gets in any game, whether it be home opener or not, the connection between the fans and CJ's been so special. I just guess in the moment of that shootout, especially that last shot, what does that mean to you to hear?
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's entertaining as well. Like CJ just is so good with our fans, and their fans are so good and respectful of CJ. Yeah, it's like a special bond, and it's just cool. Like it wouldn't be easy to play the role that CJ plays on our group. Every team has a number 3 goalie. I don't know if anybody has a number 3 goalie that has the impact on their players, on the team, on the organization, and our whole fan base like CJ has. Just a special player. And it's funny, Allie Monroe came to me at the end of this game, and Allie just has probably a little bit longer of a connection with CJ. CJ was actually the goalie, and Allie was the captain, and I coached a Canada Winter Games team in Nova Scotia. And Allie just came to me, and the smile on her face for CJ was amazing. An old quote that I used to use a lot is, "Good things happen to good people," and Allie just said it to me, and I was like, right. Yeah, it's pretty cool.